Hi guys, welcome back to another video. We've got some interesting clips here, some debatable ones, some food for thought, and maybe even a couple of controversial ones. Let's crack right into the first video and let's see how it goes. Okay, is this car coming out of this road, this silver one, give way to the right? No, apparently not. Just carry on going, ignored us completely. Okay, as we go down in this road here, what this is, we're looking at this car coming towards us. Again, it's one of these little, who should give way here? We've got a lorry on the left, we've got a couple of cars parked on the right, we haven't got much room there to go through, so one would say the other cars got the right of way. It didn't much matter, they had absolutely no intention of giving way at all anyway, as my people went defensive on that occasion, which I would say is the correct thing to do. Always go defensive if you're unsure what someone else is going to do on the road. Now with that, we decided to pull over on the left and discuss that roundabout and the intersection with the car that come towards us to see how that would move forward. Okay, into the next video, the next clip. Now this bike here, look how close it is, and he's going through a gap which he should not be going through, and he's a qualified roader no less. I mean, that was really dangerous on his part, putting his safety at risk. This clip here, interesting one. Vehicle there is on a keep clear, shouldn't really be there. That's kept clear for vehicles that are coming out the right hand side from the station so they can get to the far left there if they want to turn left at the lights. Now these vehicles up front, lights are gone green. It's only the middle one that's indicating. Can't see that, you can just about see it now, but none of those two, the van or the car at the back, actually indicated at all to let us know they were going right, because both lanes can actually go straight on. So now we're sort of kind of stuck here. Actually, we're going to have to sort of live with it, I'm afraid. We could move over to the left, it's a little bit awkward. Generally we don't get let in if we indicate, so we tend to have to rough it out and stay to the right hand side. Now as we're just going to have a little look at the back here. Look at this car here on the crossing, shouldn't really be there again. He sees our situation and he actually goes into the left hand side to go carry on going. While we stay here, I want to have a little close look at this car here, and the reason I've kept on it, she's kept a nice distance actually. It's good at this point, no real problems, but then she does get agitated as the car starts to move ahead, and as you will see, she does some gesturing. I mean, she was a learner once, she doesn't look that old from here. Don't know when she passed her test, but obviously she's lost that patience. There's the old hand gesture, get on with it, she says, then closes us down before she can actually turn right. Very pleasant. Now this section here, what we're looking at is the car coming. Once the Mercedes gets out of the way, the car coming down there on the right, he actually, or she, wants our lane. Look, they're looking for a gap. Suddenly, hello, right in front of the learner, I see that. So we'll have a piece of that straight past us. And in doing so, if you look from the front here, my pupil actually slows down because it says keep clear. And that keep clear is for a road on the right, junction on the right. There's already one car blocking it, which doesn't help. Two wrongs don't make a right. But this person here actually going to be coming up on the left in a second. There we go, let's just jump in there, no indication, let's just push our way through. Thank you very much for that. They could have planned this earlier, to be honest, and got on the correct lane. Now as they move forward here, actually no problem at all. They're keeping a reasonable distance from their car in front, they're keeping in a lane, so it's all good at this point. As we progress further down the road, this single lane here actually goes into two lanes, and they're both going in the same direction in this one-way system, as I'm highlighting coming up now. And with that, that means you could be on the left, you can be on the right, and the idea of this, look how clear it's in front of us, so we carry on going and we pass this car again, and I'm not entirely sure if they're happy that we actually passed them or they're just getting on with business, but they decide to put the foot down a wee bit and just think to themselves, which lane should I go in? I know what I will do. I will move over to this lane here. Maybe the lane you should have been in the first place. Okay, who's got the right of way? We sort of slow down, we see them moving out, so we go the defensive, but the car was on their side technically. Split hairs, you know, always no harm done, just slow it down, just let them go through. Now when we come home and look at the car on the right, it has got a car on the way. They could have pushed through, they didn't, and I thank you very much for that. That's nice and pleasant, and some proper nice defensive driving and courteous to us. Now I'm letting this clip run because I've got a couple of cyclists coming down the road. I'm not picking on the cyclists, I cycle myself. This is just an observation. That's all it is, an observation. The guy on the left there, look, he's in a bike lane. You know, standard bike, standard gear, pretty good. What about that guy on the right coming down the road? He's quite right to be there, no problems at all, but look at the difference in bike. Racer bike, better gear. Is it, yeah, I know, is he a different type of rider altogether? It's interesting point. Now as we go down and look at this BMW, undertakes this completely, amber light going red. What does he do? Is he going to stop? Well, of course he's not. Look at the speed he come up on our inside. Straight through, improper driving, and this is how accidents are caused. Not good at all. Okay, as we move further forward onto the next clip, what we're looking at is good MSPSL here, mirror signal maneuver, mirror signal position, speed. Look, there's the car on the left hand side, and what it actually does, it pinches out into our road, into the keep clear, and then we take the action. So the idea is, as you're getting closer, there is pinch, you check your mirrors, you need to see the distance behind you. There's a car, good distance, signalling, can be braking, you got to check that braking distance, and as the car does brake in this distance, it's a little bit on the harsh side, but nevertheless they do so. We're keeping an eye on that, so watching the speed, looking back forward again at this car here. Now if that car would have got too close, we had room to push out to the right. If they would have carried on, which they didn't, they stayed motionless in there, let us react accordingly. And if we look behind, the car refreshed itself, reasonable distance, and so we move on. Now, as this lady is finishing her lunch, she's not really paying attention because the lights go green. We haven't quite moved yet, but she feels she has to get closer and closer, driving with one hand whilst eating, and not really paying too much attention. Let's look forward view here, and this car here doesn't do anything wrong, just moves away gentle. It's the car behind and the one behind that, the issues. As we move forward, we do notice that the car's a little close to that one in the front, so we just gently hold back. We got to figure we know what's coming up here. Our road's clear, nice and ahead, but bit awareness, and what happens? Yeah, straight into our lane, close us down. Did they look? Maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but that car wants to go right, so they both push over. If they would have planned a little bit better, that could have probably turned out a little bit better than what it did. This clip here, this is not about the cyclist as such. Again, it's a funny old situation, this one. He's riding the bike lane, fair enough, but look, the bus has stopped and the people are looking to get on, and well, who's in the right here? Bike? Pedestrians? Who should be given way? Or is it just a matter of bit of courtesy all around, really, while the pedestrians get on? Could he have waited? Could he gone around them? I'm not sure. I think that's just open to the individual either riding the bike or the pedestrians getting on the bus. But it's a good one though. I'm sure that comes up quite often. Now as we move on from here, I'm going to let the video run because it's the next sequence that I'm paying attention to. We have a so-called professional driver coming out of a side turn on the left hand side just before the bridge, and with that should be driving accordingly. Now as he comes out, he does see us. You'll see him in the white car. There he is, professional driver, taxi driver, and I do smirk a bit with this because he sees us, but he pushes out. He's looking, but he's bullying. He gets out there and forces us to actually stop by pinching over into the road. That he should be given way to the right. It's pure and simple really, but he decides he doesn't, and he picks on the learner in consequence to doing that. And I'm not particularly keen on that type of behaviour in driving. Okay, next section. Two causes of action here, two similar cars. And what's going on here is we look at the first one, and what he does, he undertakes us, no indication, so basically ignores us as a whole, doesn't give us any real cred or consideration on the road. Wasn't sort of dangerous, but it was sort of inappropriate, to be honest. Let's have a little look on how the second car deals with it. Could have done exactly the same thing, but no, he stays behind us, he stays a nice reasonable distance, he's leaving at the same exit, lovely bit of indication, What's wrong with that? Why couldn't the other car do the same? It's just attitude sometimes. But you've got to be aware. This is the key thing. You have to be aware and watch what's going on. Now this clip here is about the car coming out on the left. We're indicating left. He should be pulling out and actually going a bit closer to that white van so we can carry on and turn left. But what he does, he goes in the middle of the road and literally squeezes us over to the left hand side. It's totally unnecessary, really, as we go into the left very, very cautiously. But if you have a look back view of this, which kind of makes this clip a little bit worse than what it was. If we look at a rear view now, he goes past the slope, but where's he going? He's just pulling in the left there, look. I mean, really, you know, he could have waited. It's inappropriate, really. It's just poor driving against the learner again. Now, as we go down this road, this is a typical one. I come across this quite often. We're looking to turn left up here, and it's the car coming down in the opposite direction. It's going in the same direction as indicating right. Now, as we're looking to turn left, what they do, rather than go in behind us, they're going on the wrong side of the road just to make sure they're in the front of us. And again, it's just lack of consideration for the learner driver again, which is pretty sad. Okay, who do we think the dullard is out of that? Well, purely for high risk, I think it's got to be the bike here, because that was dangerous what he did. He's a professional rider. He's passed his test, and he does something really, really silly like that. Totally unnecessary. So I'm afraid I have to give him the title for this video. Okay, great. Look forward to seeing you again. Please come back, and thank you very much for watching.